The Arizona Cards Cast. It's Friday, August 12th, 2022. I have the piece of paper up here. I ripped it off before I went on the camera. I am so fired up because guess what, everyone? The Arizona Cardinals play football tonight. And I know it's the first preseason game, and yes, we're on to Cincinnati. What's that, Bill? We're on to Cincinnati. Yes, we are on to Cincinnati. And I know it's the first preseason game. The big stars are not going to play. No J.J. Watt, no Kyler Murray, no Joe Burrow, no Jamar Chase, no Joe Mixon. I know. Well, on and on. The stars are not playing. It's the first preseason game. Thanks, Sean McVay, for changing the way that teams, treat the preseason. Anyways, expectations for tonight's game. Here's my expectations. First and foremost, I know Colt McCoy would probably play, but he has an injured arm, so he's going to be sitting this one out tonight. It's going to be mostly Trace McSorley behind center. Trace McSorley, no matter what he does tonight, he is not the better quarterback than Colt McCoy. So Trace McSorley most likely will be on the practice squad if he doesn't get picked up by another team after the preseason. I don't see a way that Trace McSorley makes this roster. I don't care if he throws 4 touchdowns today. He's not a better quarterback than Colt McCoy. I've seen both play in college and the pros. And Colt McCoy proved he's a serviceable backup last season. He will be the second string quarterback. The Cardinals only have 2 player QBs on the roster this year. Anyways, so what are our expectations? I want to see Leke Fotu. I want to see Benjamin. I want to see Trey McBride. And I want to see Greg Dortch. Those are the 4 players on the team that I kind of want to. Mostly on offense, believe it or not, even though I know that the offense is a better unit than the defense, to be honest with you. I think the Cardinals are probably going to go get some help before the preseason's up outside of the roster to help, as I said, the defensive line and the secondary. Mainly the corner spot. I think at safety the Cardinals are pretty set as long as health permitting, of course. But for tonight's game, I want to see those 4 players. I want to see how they perform. And really, I like to see just, penalties. Obviously, I know it's backup players, but I want to see the Cardinals play with some discipline. Obviously, Cliff Kingsbury team's been kind of a little loose over his first few seasons. I want to see that shored up tonight. Those are the things that I expect, and those are the expectations of what I want to see from tonight's game. Those 4 players play well, and obviously Cliff Kingsbury cleaning up with the penalties. Okay. The next subject actually has to do with, the overall outlook of the preseason. So, to play the stars or not, that is a great debate in all of football. Here is where I stand. I think if you're a veteran, been in the league for a while, even with a new team, it was proven with Matt Stafford last year. Matt Stafford started the season in fuego for the Rams. Even though he didn't play in the preseason, it was with a new coach, new offense. It still didn't matter. Got enough reps in training camp and practice that he was ready to go. He was good to go. So my philosophy is I actually think Sean McVay was on to something. These 2 guys, J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, even though he's going to be suspended the first 6 games, James Conner, Kyler Murray, Marcus Golden, Budda Baker, you could even go with Byron Murphy even, a lot of the guys up front. Do they need to play in the preseason? I would actually say no. Now, I think young players, if you go to Jacksonville, like Trevor Lawrence, all of the second-year quarterbacks, I think if you're a young player, 1, 2, 3 years in the league, I think you should play a little bit in the preseason. I think that, obviously any rookies should be in there. So any young players or even fringe guys who could be starters but probably need a little bit of work, I think you have those guys play. But I think the superstars of the league, the Kyler Murrays, Aaron Rodgers, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, even with the new team, for example, I don't think those guys need to play in the preseason. I think it's been proven just by their performance early in the seasons. Remember, Kyler Murray looked like crap in 3 series against the Chiefs in the only preseason game he played last year, and he had 5 touchdowns in week 1. I think he was good to go. Just saying. Something that's comical, and I actually kind of retweeted it. My response was, dude, on Twitter. So AB, as you can see, there's Antonio Brown doing jumping jacks, shirtless in the end zone in the middle of a football game. It's pretty unprecedented. I've never seen a player do that before. I shouldn't say that. We may see a player. Some dudes that play the game are a little nuts, like Antonio Brown. Anyways, so Antonio Brown said on Twitter yesterday, sure, he's just bored because he's not on a team, even though he's damn good enough to still be on a team if he wasn't such a loony bird. But Antonio Brown said, on Twitter yesterday. He said, his biggest regret from not playing football is not being able to watch himself play. So pretty much what he was saying, he wished he could clone himself so he could watch himself play and just be in marvel about how amazing he was at football. This is just... there's narcissism, which, trust me, in the social media age, you could even say, hey, Drew, you're a little narcissistic. You're talking to the camera about football every day. Maybe I'm a little narcissistic. Maybe, my wife who does TikTok videos, a little narcissistic. Antonio Brown, is times that by, 200. I just think he's just a loony bird. What else can you say? He's a loony bird. He decided he didn't want to go for a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Instead, he wanted to take his shirt off and do jumping jacks in the end zone. I don't know, because of some little squabble, because, Bruce Arians hurt his feelings. I don't even know. It's pretty ridiculous. Anyways. My reaction to the Field of Dreams game, let me just say, something about playing a baseball game just kind of out on a farm with cornfields in the background. It's just something that's cool, kind of nostalgic about it. Almost brings you back to the good old days. And we know that baseball is a very nostalgic sport that's kind of, it's to its own detriment, to be honest with you, at this point, that it's so much based on tradition and history. But this year's Field of Dreams game, the 4-2 Cubs win over the Reds for a team that was 21 games under 500, losing to a team that was 20 games under 500. There is something about the game last year where the Yankees played the White Sox, and it was actually two good baseball teams, and it was a phenomenal game that actually heightened the game to blowing up social media, actually baseball blowing up social media actually for a couple of days, to be honest with you, and kind of, that's my cricket sound, because honestly, even though it's beautiful, just that field in Iowa is just an absolutely beautiful baseball field, and it's so visually stunning watching, with the cornfields in the background, everyone wearing the old classical jerseys. I will say the fact that the game was between two bad teams, and it was such a boring game. There wasn't even a home run hit. There wasn't much drama. The Reds made a little bit of a rally in the 8th inning. It's just kind of just a blah game. It does matter. You got to have some good baseball teams. And honestly, I don't know why MLB scheduled the Cubs and the Reds. I guess when they scheduled this game last year, the Reds were actually not bad last year, and the Cubs, well, we knew the Cubs were going to be bad this year. They kind of had a fire sale last year. But the Reds were not that bad last year. So you may be thinking, the Reds, Joey Votto's still a solid player, even though Joey Votto's having a terrible year this year. But no, the Reds, it's just honestly, you got to have at least a good product. If it was like, say, the Dodgers and the Mets playing in this game, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. Those are two great baseball teams this year, I know. Us Arizonans, it just cringes to say anything nice about LA teams. It just does. But, I say, the Dodgers will choke in the playoffs, right? We'll see. So football is starting this weekend. I know there was a Hall of Fame game last week. What we like to do when we watch football, especially me? We like snacks. Salty, sweet, sugary snacks. So I'm going to tell you today my 5 favorite snacks. And it doesn't have to be watching football to enjoy these snacks. But this is what I enjoy, and I try to keep out of my cabinet at home, because if they're in my cabinet, I'm just going to eat the whole darn bag. Anyways, number 5, Gardettos. Gardettos snack picks. I don't know what you call those little kind of it's almost like indented, kind of like this, and and it's brown and it's kind of salty. Those things are just amazing. I just can't help but just start licking them and sucking them. I don't even chew on it because I'm like, oh, they're so salty and delicious. God, Gardetto snack mix. Can't go wrong with that at all. All right, number 4. Fritos with cheese dip. Alright, Fritos are fantastic, but you need the cheese dip. You dip it in the cheese dip. The Frito chips and you dip it in the cheese dip. Oh my gosh, when you get the Frito and you dip it in the cheese dip, it is just, it's my jam. It's my jam, and it's so good. I know some people like the Frito bean dip. I know you can buy that at, at Smith's or King Soopers, Kroger, Safeway, Vons, whatever grocery store is by where you live. Fries for use in Arizona. But the Fritos with the cheese dip, man, it's my jam. I just be sitting there drinking a beer, watching football, and I can't stop eating it. Usually Steph has to take it away from me. Number 3. Actually, believe it or not, It is actually like a relatively healthy snack because it doesn't have like a ton of salt. Like usually like popcorn is very salty. Think of the movie theater, you get that popcorn and it's salty, and you just you almost need to drink like a gallon of water of it because there's so much sodium from all the salt. Well, the Smart popcorn, it's like with the corn of the cob on the cover, and usually we buy like the big bags at the grocery store. That stuff is my jam. I can just go and eat a bucket of it, and then put another bucket of it. I can eat the whole bag, honestly. Usually, as I say, Steph, she's kind of like my conscience. She's like taking it away from me. She's like, Drew, stop. Just stop, Drew. Just stop. Anyways, all right, I'm going with all these salty snacks. We're gonna make a little change on number 2, and you can laugh at me because maybe only you in the Southwest would actually know what this is. But Vera Mango. It's like those Mexican lollipops with the mango. It's shaped like a mango and it's dipped in like chili powder. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is about those, but like they're so addicting. I'll buy like a bag at the grocery store and I just can't help it. I'm just like, I'll start chewing on it, and then I'll start chewing on it, and then my teeth feel like they're gonna fall out from all the sugar that's in it. But it's just, it's so good, so good. Anyways, as you can see, I'm getting really excited. I'm gonna have to go to the store after this and buy a snack. Anyways, number 1. Anyone who knows me knows this is my weakness. Yep. Mother friggin' Cheez-Its. Oh my gosh. Just regular original Cheez-Its. I don't need no cheddar jack Cheez-Its. I don't need no white cheddar. I don't need it in the snack mix. Just give me a box of original Cheez-Its. You give me a box of original Cheez-Its, I buy it at the grocery store on Saturday at 1 o'clock. It's probably all been consumed by Saturday at 5 o'clock. It is not good. It is my weakness. It is probably the reason why I'm maybe not in the best shape I am that I could be. Because, even though I like to work out and exercise, I just can't help it. Junkies are addicted to crack. I'm addicted to Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are just, yes. Anyways. Enjoy the football. The Cardinals are back, baby. We'll talk about the Cardinals on Monday morning about, we'll react to the game, kind of what happened. But you can follow me on Twitter at Stu Drew. And also, please like and subscribe. Have a great weekend.